Namaste. In the last video, we had some information about the autobiography by Milkha Singh, that is The Race of My Life. So, an autobiography by Milkha Singh, and the co-writer is Sonia Sanvalka, his daughter. So in the beginning he has let us know some information of his formative years, especially 1956 and 1957. So in this video also we are going to continue the same lesson. So guys, as you see, the last lines we have witnessed where he used to see visions of victory. So by that visions he used to encourage himself and he used to move on. That's how we ended the last video, with the lines like we have to motivate ourselves, we have to inspire ourselves, we have to encourage ourselves. That's what Milkha Singh did. So let us go more about the information of Milkha Singh. As you see on your screen that I had learnt the hard way that the road to success would not be easy. This is known to each and everyone that road to success will never be easy. So I read somewhere, what is the success? Is there any easy way to get success? Yeah, that was an interview for an IAS officer. So she said directly in one line that there is no shortcut to success. Means if you want to have success, you should work hard. That's the only way. And there are other attributes as well, as you can witness in case of Milkha Singh, that we have to renounce something and we have to make our God what we are going to work for or what we are fighting for. That God, religion and our beloved must be the way or the goal we are going to achieve. So that's the thing. Let us move on. He said that he came to know that road to success would not be always easy and that I would encounter many obstacles and barriers along the way. This is quite common. Each and every achiever have to face obstacles and barriers. Without obstacles and barriers, there would be no things like, or we may say, without obstacles and barriers, it would be not like a success. Even if you know that how electricity is produced. Electricity produced when there will be resistance. Yes. And that resistance is there. That is how Milkha Singh witnessed many obstacles and barriers along his way. Right. Now, yet I had intentionally embarked upon this difficult journey. We have to face, we have to take it as a challenge. Man has to challenge himself. So when you make yourself a challenge, you make your way easy. So that take everything as a challenge. Even the journey is difficult. This person, that Milkha Singh, took that journey intentionally, took that challenge intentionally, driven by desire to success. This must be there in each and everyone. So desire to succeed must be there. Desire, ಒಂದು ಮಹಾದಿಚ್ಛೆ, ಮಹದಾಸೆ, ಮಹತ್ವಾಕಾಂಕ್ಷೆ ಅಂತ ನಾವೇನು ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ ಆಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಮಹತ್ವಾಕಾಂಕ್ಷೆ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಕೇವಲ ಇಚ್ಛೆ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಸಾಲು, ಆಸೆ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಸಾಲು, ಮಹತ್ವಾಕಾಂಕ್ಷೆ ಇರಬೇಕು. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ದ ಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಹ್ಯಾವ್, ಲೈಕ್ ಅಲೆಕ್ಸಾಂಡರ್, ನೆಪೋಲಿಯನ್, ಶಿವಾಜಿ, and Abraham Lincoln, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Buddha, Basava. Each and every historical figure had the desire to get success or to get achieve or to get won the things. Even at heart, I was still that impoverished boy who ran to school in his bare feet and who had courageously fought with fate to become what he is today. So in these two lines there is a historical incident hidden. So that schoolboy used to run to his school barefoot. Barefoot means, without any sandals or chappals below his feet. That means he had not that extent rich. He was poor. That boy used to run to his school on a barefoot and had courageously fought with the fate. Fought with the fate. This you will know when you watch that movie, Milkha Singh, Bhag Milkha Bhag. I would like to request you to watch. Okay, and there you come to know what was his fate and how he fought with that. Fought is the past tense of fight. So he fought with his fate. That is also courageously. He started running for his life and until he won the medal for his running. So this is how the life takes us to, and let us move. My perseverance and tenacity were relentless. See, perseverance means continuous effort, we may say parishrama, and tenacity means the strength, and the relentless means without giving up. You must not give up. That is how his perseverance and tenacity was relentless, means he had decided not to give up at any time, not to give up at any extent, at any cost. Besides, I firmly believe that if a person works hard and sincerely, this is how, his efforts would be rewarded. If you work hard and sincerely, your efforts will be rewarded. That's perfect. And my coach during these years was Ranbir Singh. So Ranbir Singh was the coach around 1956 and 1957 to Milkha Singh, and he used to observe Milkha Singh and observe my every move and action to see that I adhered to the program he had prepared. These coaches used to prepare some map of a champion athlete, or we may say sports person, that he has to have a fixed pattern of food, fixed a pattern of his practice. Everything will be guarded by the coach. Ranbir Singh used to observe every move. Every move means his action, his practice, his food, his gym, and everything. He has to be happy mentally as well. Adhar means to adjust it to perfectly. Baddhanagirodu anta adherence andre. So he had prepared some program, some pattern, some framework. So this Milkha Singh has to adhere. Milkha Singh has to go. Milkha Singh has to be abide by the framework put forth by Ranbir Singh. So this was the thing. And in my experience, the relation between coach and a trainee has to be based on extreme trust. So this thing is very important. Even if there is no trust, the relation between a devotee and God would also go useless. ಭಕ್ತ ಮತ್ತು ದೇವರ ನಡುವಿನ ಸಂಬಂಧ ಕೂಡ ಟ್ರಸ್ಟ್ ಇರದೆ ಹೋದರೆ ಯೂಸ್ಲೆಸ್ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹೌ ದ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್, ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ರನ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ಟ್ರಸ್ಟ್. ಸಿ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, Mirabai had a trust on Krishna. Even Krishna was not with her. Kabir also had trust on his God. Chaitanya had trust. So Akkamahadevi had trust. So only trust is the another name for God, I may say, if I am not wrong. So this is how he says that the coach and the trainee. In any case, you can take for example teacher and student, or you may take it for granted like a coach and the sports person. Even it may be cricket or football or hockey or whatever. So between them, the relation must have some trust. Trust mara nambike. Yes, everything runs. Another name for God, as I told, right? He is your guide, your mentor, and also your sternest critic. That must be, a coach must be a sternest critic of his training. Okay, sternest means discipline without a single fault, he is not going to give him up. So the fault must be very very less. If he commits a minor mistake also, the guide or the coach is going to tell you do it again. So this is how the sternest critic and mentor, he used to mentor your all the minds as well as body. He's your guide. So that's a coach should be a hard taskmaster. So how a coach should be, this Milkha Singh is telling us that he must be a hard taskmaster. Means to make your trainee stronger, you must give him some difficult tasks, so that then only a trainee will become strong and stronger. So this will like as well and discipline you if the need arises. Discipline is also important in all the fields, in education, in sports, in personality development. Discipline is a must. Okay, next. After all, it is he who controls your career as an athlete. So something is about coach here. So we have to have a trust on coach, what he is telling us as an athlete. So all the coaches who have trained me, including Gurdev Singh, Baldev Singh, Ranbir Singh and Dr. Howard, mentioned some 4 coaches. So all these coaches have been sources of great inspiration. ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಫೂರ್ತಿದಾಯಕ ಆಗಿದ್ರಿ ಗುರುಗಳು, ಕೋಚ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ motivation for me. They used to motivate him. In fact, it was because of Dr. Howard's motivation that I won the gold at Cardiff. So Cardiff is a place in England. So there was a competition. In that Milkha Singh had won Cardiff. Who was the responsible for it? This Mr. Howard, yeah. So even he is a foreigner, he used to coach. He gave a coaching to Milkha Singh. So that was his motivation, made him win a gold medal at Cardiff. So you may be asked a question for 1 mark, like where Milkha Singh won a gold. And the answer is at Cardiff. And who was the inspiration behind winning the gold at Cardiff? Means Dr. Howard. So there will be questions on this. So I request you people to remember Cardiff and Dr. Howard. I will also be grateful to them. So this is how extending your gratefulness, we may say. So that's also important. So here in his autobiography, he has expressed some gratitude to the coach also. My strenuous training program had to be supplemented by a balanced high protein diet. So every aspect he is covering, how we have to go for practice, how we have to have a rest, okay, how we have to eat the food. So other things are also there. So he has to have a balanced high protein diet means samatolita ahara, that balanced food to make up for the nutrients lost during the practice. When he used to go for practice, obviously he used to lose his proteins and nutrients. So that has to be supplemented, that has to be filled with the balanced high protein food. I avoided fatty substances like butter, ghee, and instead drank glasses of milk. I think you have heard this sentence in case of Mahendra Singh Dhoni. He also used to drink the glasses of milk. The same thing is true in case of all the sports people, and ate plenty of green vegetables, fruits, eggs, fish and lean meat. Very important is not fatty meat, lean meat. So these are some important food system of any athlete. So you may be asked the question for 2 to 4 marks, that what would be the food system of an athlete. So we have to write all these things. There must be a balanced high protein diet, and we must avoid fatty substances like butter and ghee, and instead we have to have some glasses of milks, and plenty of means bahalashtu, more plenty of green vegetables, fruits, eggs, fish and lean meat. I would never eat the same meals every day, but would vary the ingredients and combinations to help digestion. So this is also an important practice, an important practice the sports people must follow, that the same milk must not be repeated each and every day. There must be variation in the the kind of food, okay, as well as in the ingredients means the things you you use, okay. So like for example, if you eat one day one kind of fruit, you must have another kind of fruit the other day. So like that combination you should have. There is nothing more ruinous than a sportsman with diarrhea. So you, being a sportsman, you must be very careful about your food, because if you face diarrhea, that will lose all your strength. Diarrhea means it will be like defecation with non-stop defecation. I would like you people to go through a dictionary for the extra meaning. In Kannada it is called Atisara Bedi anta karitave. Next, one of the maxims I have always followed was early to bed and early to rise. So this is what maxims means, sayings, greatest sayings. That is what this is how I think this is told by Swami Vivekananda. Early to bed, early to rise makes men wealthy and wise. If I'm not wrong, so I think it's correct. So we have to go early to bed and we have to rise early, so that you will have a perfect kind of a sleep, and you will have a perfect time to practice in the early morning. That was a great time to have a physical practice. Even people used to say that early morning would be the fine time to study as well. So it is left to you people. But what maxim who is this? Oh, I'm sorry. What maxim our Milkha Singh followed? That is early to bed and early to rise. So this maxim, this great saying he followed because of rest and sleep help raise energy level. So sleep and rest help your energy level rise, okay. If you take abundance of sleep and as well as a fine rest, then it will raise your energy level. It is true, it is proved. And I lived an austere, almost like monkish life. Austere means it is very difficult. It is like alone. We have to have our own work, and we are not going to divert our mind towards any attractions. So that is called austere. Monkish, monk means sannyasi. Sannyasi life lead ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರು. Abiding by the rules I had set for myself. So this is how you should abide by the rules. Okay, we have to follow the rules. We have to keep our rules always in the mind. So that is what he used to follow the rules always. He set for himself, nobody did. So even dear friends, I request you, please concentrate on my words, that I always used to tell in the class, you are the creator of your destiny. Means we are the creator of our destiny. ನಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಡೆಸ್ಟಿನಿಯನ್ನು ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋರು ನಾವೇ. ಸೊ ರೂಲ್ಸನ್ನು ಯಾರೇ ಬೇರೆಯವರು ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ಅದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಸೇಕ್ ಆಫ್ ರೂಲ್. So rule impose yourself on you, and do it, follow it. Do not worry about the rules imposed by others. The rules imposed by you will be very impactful. That is what the great idea behind the success of Milkha Singh. So I shun late nights and never indulge in bad habits like smoking, drinking, or too much caffeine. So caffeine means it will be there in tea and coffee. So you must not have more coffee or tea, and smoking and drinking is almost need to be avoided for the people who are going to practice physically for to be a soldier or the athlete like this. So this Milkha Singh never indulged himself. Indulged means involved in bad habits, and he always shun means closed. He never practiced late nights, and he always used to sleep before 10, always used to get up early in the morning around at 4 a.m. So I have seen the impact of such addictions have had on athletes. So if you have addictions means ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಆ ಚಟಗಳಿಗೆ ದಾಸನಾಗೋದು, ಆ ಚಟಗಳು ನಿಮಗೆ ಬದ್ದರೆ ಅಥ್ಲೀಟ್ಸ್ ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹೌ ದೇ ಅಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಸಲ್ ಪವರ್. ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಬಿಟ್ಸ್ ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಮಸಲ್ ಪವರ್. ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಮಸಲ್ ಪವರನ್ನು. ಸೊ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಥಿಂಕ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ if you drink and if you eat fatty food you will become stronger. That is extremely exactly opposite side of the way you do your practice. So keep that the great line that you must not drink, you must not smoke, and you must eat a very balanced food including vegetables, fruits, eggs, fish, especially lean meat, and glasses of milk. So that is what helps you. Instead nowadays people think that other way, that's what the wrong. It left to you people always. That is true that you are the creator of your destiny. See how he has created his own destiny. So we are very much happy and we are proud that Milkha Singh has to be given a salute. As my fame grew, so did the attention I received from my fans. So he has won many medals including in Asia Cup, Commonwealth, as well as in Asian Games. So he won, and he wherever he go, he has got the attention of many fans. So ಅವನಿಗೆ ಫ್ಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ, both men and women. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ huge crowds would follow me wherever I went. ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಿದ್ದ ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಕ್ರೌಡ್ ಅನ್ನು ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅಫನ್ ಐ ವುಡ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಗರ್ಲ್ಸ್ ಔಟ್ ನಂಬರ್ಡ್ ದ ಬಾಯ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಗರ್ಲ್ಸ್ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಅವನ ಫ್ಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರು. ಅಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಬೋಲ್ಡ್ನೆಸ್ ವುಡ್ ಎಂಬರಾಸ್ ಮೀ. ಆ ಸಂದರ್ಭಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಒಂದು ಬೋಲ್ಡ್ನೆಸ್ ಇವನಿಗೆ ಮುಜುಗರ ತರ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಹಿ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಅವಾಯ್ಡೆಡ್ ದ ಕಂಪನಿ ಆಫ್ ಗರ್ಲ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಹಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಎಂಬರಾಸ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ದ ಬೋಲ್ಡ್ನೆಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದೋಸ್ ಗರ್ಲ್ಸ್. ಬಟ್ ದೇರ್ ವರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಮೊಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ವೆನ್ ಐ ವುಡ್ ಫೀಲ್ ಫ್ಲಾಟರ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ದರ್ ಅಡ್ಮಿರೇಷನ್. ಅವರು ತುಂಬ ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಪದಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇವನನ್ನು ಫ್ಲ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೀತಿ, ಅವರ ವಾತ್ಸಲ್ಯ, ಅವರ ಒಲುಮೆ ಇವನನ್ನು ಅವರ ಮಾತಿನಲ್ಲಿ ತೇಲಾಡಿಸುವಂಗೆ ಆಗ್ತಿತ್ತು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೈ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ವಾಸ್, ಸೊ ಅವನ ಒಂದು ರೂಲ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಯಾವುದಾಗಿತ್ತಂದರೆ ಟು ಅವಾಯ್ಡ್ ಎನಿ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ರಿಲೇಷನ್ಶಿಪ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಸೆಕ್ಸ್. ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ದ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ರೂಲ್ ವಿ ಶುಡ್ ಫಾಲೋ ವೆನ್ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಅವರ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಟಿವ್ ಇಯರ್ಸ್. ನಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನದ ಏನು ಫಾರ್ಮೇಟಿವ್ ಇಯರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಏನು ಇರ್ತವೆ ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ we must avoid close relationship with our opposite sex. That is what the men must not have. So what Milkha Singh is saying, that we must have some distance maintained, because once you fall for the trap like attraction, people will get diverted. So that diversion may cause your life the bad impact. So this is how one of his rules was to avoid any close relation with the opposite sex. That's what he got embarrassed when he faced the girl fans. Starting a romance in those days was not an option for me. ಸೊ ಆ ರೊಮ್ಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಹುಚ್ಚುತನ ಬಿಡೋದಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೆ ಅವಾಗ ನನ್ನ ಆಯ್ಕೆ ಅದು ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನು ಅವಾಯ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ. ಐ ಡಿ ನಾಟ್ ವಾಂಟ್ ಎನಿ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ದೇರ್ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿ. Dear friends, this is true. Wherever you go, whomever you take, for example, the successful people, they must have had some distance with the opposite sex until they will get successful. So this is the thing. If you had some things like that, there will be complications. There must be complications. So this is why he is giving a good suggestion to the youth. So, and even he is telling what he did. That is what in my life. So he did not have any idea. He did not want. So no complications by having the relationship and other things. So that will be the route for complications. So this is how he avoided. He got success. I was convinced that I did not want any distractions. Yeah, ಅವನಿಗೆ ಕನ್ವಿನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರು ಅವರು. He was self-convinced that he did not want any distractions. So distractions ನನಗೇನು ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ಅವರೇ ಕನ್ವಿನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರು. ಥ್ರೂ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಸೊ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಬಾರಂತ ಕನ್ವಿನ್ಸ್ ಆದ ನಂತರನೇ ಅದು ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ವುಡ್ ಕೀಪ್ ಮೀ ಅವೇ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಮೈ ಗೋಲ್. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಯು get into the trap of distractions will obviously take you away from your goal. So he said that distractions would keep me away from my goal. So that's what I was got convinced for myself, and I didn't want any complications by having a romance or a relationship with the opposite sex. That's why I was embarrassed. This is how the opposite directions of the paragraph go on. And besides, I was still young and in no hurry to find my soulmate. So he thought that. So besides, I was still young. See, this is how still young. It's exactly his age, around 20 to 25. Really. So all those years will be formative years. So in those days, you are not supposed to go for any distractions and complications. Then when you get successful, there will be no late. You will have your soulmate. Soulmate means a lover, you may say, the wife, so and so forth things will come to you. So this is how a great suggestion by the great person, and from the bottom of my heart I would like to request you to plan your future, follow the great models like Milkha Singh. This is how, when even if you watch that movie, you will definitely get convinced that if you avoid something, then only you attract something. If you fall for the least bothered things, the least important things, if you fall trap, then you will lose your high vision, your high profiled life. So this is how, it's a request, it's a lesson, it's an advice. Okay, it's a beautiful story, it's a fantastic message, a great strength for the youth. So I believe, I hope this lesson will be very impactful in your life. So take care, follow this person's life. So like this, here we are going to give a last bye bye to this lesson. So thank you very much for watching. Namaste.